Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. So I'm gonna keep the voiceover a little bit more quiet as it is really late right now. At the time of filming, it's about 1:20 and it's October 1st, and therefore it means it is Inktober. So that's what I'm going to be starting off today with. So I did my sketch with the Pilot Color Eno in the color red. I have my kneaded eraser right here just in case, and I'm just gonna lighten everything up before we start to ink. And then I'll get into a few bits and bobs so that you guys can get filled in on what the heck am I doing with this video being fairly late, and while I'm recording my voiceover at like 3:43 in the morning. So you guys are literally gonna see this video in like 6-ish hours. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I've been learning to try how to sew and stuff, plushes, because I kind of want to start a project. But I was using this tool to kind of flip this little piece inside out, and I didn't realize that it was my pen nib holder for one of my, what is it called? Drawing nibs things. I'm like literally brain dead right now, so I'm not gonna remember the terms, but I bought one a while ago so that I could use because I thought I lost this one, but I randomly found it because I was looking for an object that was like dull enough but also like comes to a point so that I could help flip my pieces of fabric inside out if I needed to, and that was the one that I found. So I decided to use this one instead of like the mint colored one today, just because I had it out and I already was like, you know, using it. So yeah, I am drawing Layla, or at least attempting to draw Layla from Genshin Impact. I really think she's super pretty, and I really love the aesthetic of like stars and all that, especially with cryo. I think it looks really pretty, so I wanted to attempt inking her. So I did the sketch I think around 12:30 in the morning. Yes, 12:30, so that I could do inking right after. So I am going to be doing Inktober this year, but I'm not going to be doing Inktober like how I'm showing you guys right here. This is done on like an A4, so 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, or sheet of cardstock. And usually for Inktober in the past, I've always done like kind of A5 size, so around 5 by 7, 5 by 8. Usually just like one side of a sketchbook page that I have, and I would do any kind of inking. I think 3 years I did 17 related art, and then the year after I think I didn't participate. I think if I did, then I did like some smaller version, which might have been last year actually, now that I'm thinking about it. So last year I did like little post-it note sized doodles in my sketchbook with ink, just everyday random things. I did some 17, a lot of it was Genshin. I think one of them was Masaki, so it's kind of like an assortment. But for today, I wanted to do just like one larger drawing. But for Inktober, I am planning on doing something similar where I'm taking a post-it note, tracing the post-it note little square, having that in my sketchbook and just sketching over top of it. And if I really like the sketch, I'll like expand out of the box. But if I don't feel like I like the drawing, or if I feel like I have too little time, I'll just stick within the little box that I have drawn. So yeah, that's the plan for this year. And I think I'm gonna draw Niji En for my theme, just so I have something to draw every day. So because there's 26 of them, I'm gonna go from, I don't know who I'm gonna draw first. I'm probably gonna do them by their waves. So we'll start with Lazulite, then Obsidia, Etheria, Luxium, Noctix, and then Aluna. And then that leaves me with 5 days at the very end, which I might switch it up. Yeah, we'll see, because I might just do it like who I watch the most, or something that I want to draw that day. But I'll probably keep it Niji En, like En related. But yeah, I don't have too much to talk about, and today's video is going to be on the shorter side. This week I've been touching grass too much, and it's just been really busy. I've been out of the house pretty much every day except for Monday, because Monday I was able to stream. Tuesday I had run errands. Wednesday I hung out with friends. Thursday errands, and then Friday, which is today, I ran errands. for the most part. And every time I had any downtime, I was making like practicing sewing. And the reason why I was doing that instead of filming is because it's much easier for me to start and stop with sewing rather than start and stop video recording. So yeah, hopefully next week I can get back into the swing of things again. I want to do another draw with me that's like real time talking. Like, it's been like a really long time, I feel like, that since I've done that. I think the last few videos I've done have mostly been voiceover videos, which I know a lot of you guys don't mind, and some of you guys even prefer it. But you know, it's kind of nice every once in a while to actually sit down for maybe 3 to 4 hours ish and just draw and talk. We'll see, because sometimes I like talking and sometimes I don't, so that's why sometimes I opt for like doing the voiceovers instead. And yeah, because I was actually gonna draw Candace today, do a draw with me and draw Candace on the iPad, but I ran out of time. So yeah, and then Saturday I have to do like a deep clean of the house. Me and my brother do that like at the beginning of every month, so that is what we're gonna be doing. But I think every Monday, because usually I do a sketchbook video on the Monday, I'll try my best to show you guys my Inktober progress, as long as I'm doing something like related to my sketchbook, so I'll be able to show you guys at least a little bit of the progress. I probably won't show everything because maybe I'll like wait until, actually, what day is the 31st? 31st is a Monday, perfect. So maybe the 31st. I'm gonna have to think about how I want to plan this, because usually I do my Inktober's late at night, so like around 12 a.m. because I stay up until like 3 a.m. anyways, like usually. So right now it's 3:50, so it's not like too out of the ordinary. But yeah, I usually do my Inktober's at night, right after it hits midnight, and I consistently do this, so it's still building a habit. So hopefully I can do something similar on Sunday, so maybe I can do the last day, and then Monday's video on the 31st I can show you guys like the last drawing plus all the previous drawings or something. We'll see how I do it. I think I pull too many last minute things too often, but that's probably gonna happen. Yeah. So yeah, when I'm drawing Layla, I did do the sketch first off screen, obviously, and then I lightened up the sketch so that none of the pigments and stuff get in the way of the ink. So when using the pen nibs here, I was actually having a little bit of an issue. So I don't think I ran into this issue as much with the first time using this, and that was in my sketchbook, and I drew Reimu at the time. But for this one I was struggling because a lot of the time the ink was pooling at the bottom too much, no matter, even if I like try to shake off a little bit, like tap off some of the excess ink, as well as I had another separate piece of cardstock where I was scribbling to let the ink kind of let, you know, thin out a little bit. But a lot of it was still pooling. So in the end, I'm going to use that to my advantage. But a lot of the times when there's too much ink, some of the lines you'll see are actually really feathering on the paper. I know cardstock's probably not the best paper to use anyways, but a lot of the times when I'm getting a lot less ink flow, it actually makes really nice smooth lines. And let me check. There's not too much feathering in the areas that like didn't have very much like pooling ink, but any area that had a lot of pooling ink, there's a lot of feathering. So there's a lot of areas where it looks a little bit more unclear, a little bit shaky even. So yeah, I wasn't planning on that for it to happen, because when I was working on her face and her hair up there, it was quite like easy for me to just work with the pen normally, but for some reason there's just some areas where it feathers. So sorry if I'm sound brain dead or really tired right now. I'm trying my best to talk quiet and also keep my eyes open at the moment. But hopefully you guys enjoy today's video. Also, if you're deciding to do Inktober this year, whether or not you're doing it digitally or traditionally, do let me know what prompts you're doing, because I'm kind of interested, or whether or not you're planning to participate in Inktober, or even like skipping this month and maybe wanting to do Huevember next time. I actually really want to try to do Huevember, but I know Huevember is a little bit like more difficult in my opinion. I don't know. Maybe it's because like focusing the illustration or drawing or whatever you're doing on one color mostly as like the main color is a little bit difficult. But I don't know. I might do it digitally, I might do painting, who knows. But yeah, I decided to erase the excess of the pencil, and then I'm taking my pencil again and kind of shading in some area. Layla is pretty much like mostly, I think, gold, white, and kind of like mixtures of different kinds of blues. But because I sketched in this red pencil, I decided to just shade the rest with red, just to match everything. And it reminds me of my Reimu piece anyways, because I think I did the same thing. But I just like adding a little bit more shading because I got a little bit too timid with shading with the pen or whatever, the pen nib, because I was scared of not getting enough contrast. So I tried my best to block in some darker areas, which I accidentally blocked in part of the, like behind her on the left side where the moon should have been. But yeah. Here's Layla. I'm going to show you guys some close-ups as well so you guys can see where some of the areas were actually really feathering and then some of the areas were a little bit more smooth. I think for working on the doodles and like Inktober little drawings in my sketchbook, I think I'm going to stick with a needlepoint pen of some sort or some kind of just like ready to go inked pen rather than this kind of pen. But hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't stay up like I do like this, get proper sleep, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!